Big game coverage live from Glendale, Arizona. Powered by AA Best Bail Bonds, Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, Texas Cheer, and by 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
BJ Ganem. It's hard, even if you're a well-regarded individual, good person, but known by many.
What?
If you're trying to get into the lockdown version that is NFL's Radio Row, you have to arrive with the proper certifications and lanyards. And you forgot yours this morning, didn't you? Let me turn you on there. There you go.
He's not on it. Wait. There we go.
I absolutely did. Rookie mistake.
It's all right, man.
It's like Thurman Thomas, right? You just go out in the field without your helmet. You can't do it. You can't do it.
We are joined by BJ Ganem of Sierra Delta, old friend of the show. We got together a couple years back. And COVID
this is my first time
us
meeting
away.
him, so pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, BJ Ganem sitting down with us. Sierra Delta is the organization he's with, and we got to meet each other. Where were we? Atlanta or Minneapolis? When did we first sit down and talk?
Minneapolis, right? Because it's been
a couple years.
So, but that was like what, 18?
It's been 18, 19.
I think it was.
Yeah. And we were just endeavored to start working together. We're going to pick things back up again. And we saw that you were going to be around the row, and we wanted to have you come back and sit. Man, first of all, been a couple years. You look good.
Thank you.
Good to see you again.
Yeah,
good to see you again.
It's good to be back with people again, right?
Back amongst the folks, but while we went away, the work continued. And exactly. I can describe what you do, but you can certainly describe what you do far better than me. Why are we talking to BJ Ganem right now?
We're talking to me because we have set a mission out with Sierra Delta. It started out that we were going to help all veterans with service dogs. And we realized that was just a sliver of the population, and that there was a lot of other veterans and their families that still needed some support from dogs. And so we created this program that's centered around service to others, service to your country, and the love of dogs, right?
Absolutely.
That's the two best medicines in this world right now that I've seen. And everything that's been going on for years. PTSD is something I think we're all familiar with now. I say this is no longer a military thing.
Right.
If you don't have PTSD
That's
in this
a great
country,
point.
You haven't been paying attention.
That's a great point. It's not just affecting our vets.
Right.
It affects everyone. Everybody. There's something, that affects you in certain ways. Now, what is it about the dog that brings you down, centers you, calms you down? What is it about the dog that does that for people?
So there's been a ton of studies.
Okay.
Right. And they say it's just petting a dog. Right.
Okay.
And dogs are they're the most reliable animal in the animal kingdom.
Right.
That works with humans. Right. We've been working with dogs for 35,000 years. So I don't know the science behind it, but I'll tell you from the veteran's point of view.
Yeah, there we go.
Right. From the veteran's point of view, what I've seen in dedicating my life to veteran transition since I was injured in Iraq in 2004 and trying to figure it out for myself is that we miss being on the team. We miss being a leader, right? There is a ton of resources and organizations that are pointing towards veterans, but the only way we can access those is if we're broke or broken. That goes against every part of our fiber, right? That we had even before we joined, and that was instilled in iron after we joined. Especially, I joined the United States Marine Corps. So when you graduate that 13-week boot camp, that's when you pin on the Eagle Globe and Anchor, and that's when you can call yourself a Marine.
He is BJ Ganem of Sierra Delta speaking. I want you to remember SierraDelta.com as he talks about his mission and what he's doing and how you can help.
Exactly. So what we've tied into is we tied into that instinct that what the veterans are missing. It's no different than these NFL players, right? It's being on that team, wearing that uniform.
Where are you finding your purpose from? Right.
Exactly. The 4 core principles of Sierra Delta spell EPIC. It's empowerment, purpose, innovation, and community, with community being the most important. So why are we pre-training these dogs and then giving to the vets all trained? We're keeping 80% of the medicine away from these men and women. Let's involve them in the training as they're doing it, and let's use the full spectrum of dogs. Why are we only talking about this ADA disability type dog?
Oh, I got you. I see where you're coming from.
Right?
Now.
And that's your Life Buddy program that you've got going on.
So what Life Buddy does is we took away all the labels: emotional support animal, comfort dog, all that, and just made it Life Buddy, service dog. What is it you need, veteran? What is going to meet your needs and your lifestyle? 98% of us just need a well-trained dog at the canine good citizen level, and that's it, right? And then furthermore, because we were using an app that tracked all the dog training. That
Mhm.
worked during the training process. Could take anywhere from 6 to 16 weeks, depending on what type of stuff, and it's a lifelong process. But after training was done, they're falling off, and they were hungry to be more involved
Mhm.
in other things. And that's when we realized this isn't a service dog issue, right? It's a life buddy issue. Let's get the team right with the dog. Once we got that settled, they got a good home base. Because like for me, my dog, he can fetch my prosthetic, right? But I don't need to travel with him. I want him home with my family when I'm traveling because that eases my anxiety.
Interesting.
Right?
I was gonna ask. I was
Yeah.
gonna ask you why
Yeah.
isn't your dog with you? But
Exactly.
okay, I was gonna ask you that.
Right. And not to mention, it's like having a kid.
Mhm.
Like it doesn't make your life easier. That's where
Good point.
if you need
You got to be
it,
walked.
you
It's
need
just
it,
makes
right?
it better,
Yeah.
Not easier.
you got to
Not
be walked.
easy.
You got to
Right.
be fed. He or she got to be
Well,
walked, fed,
yeah.
trained.
Your
Yeah.
message is well said. So you're working with Walmart. You're working with Blue
Buffalo.
So how are they involved? And tell us how. San Antonio, we're a military town.
Yeah,
We want to
Big
help.
time.
Just
Yeah.
tell us how we can help.
So first of all, you can go right to your Walmart. So we're in Walmart again for the third year in a row with our corporate sponsor, Blue Buffalo. It's the At Ease program. You go and buy a bag of Blue Buffalo at Walmart. They give $1 to Sierra Delta, up to $275,000. Right? It's running to the end of March.
That's awesome.
That's number one. What we started new this year is we understand that our civilians can gain a lot of information watching what we do, learning what trainers we use locally. So now we're allowing civilian membership for a minimum pledge of either $17.76 a month, right? The year we all became Americans, or a flat 200 annual pledge. So if we
Which is great. Like,
which
you
is
know what I mean?
great,
Because
yeah.
everybody should be included because we all want to help. And,
Yeah.
we all go through things. And, so that's
right.
that was a great little
So
touch.
with that minimum pledge, you're a member of Sierra Delta. You get access behind the wall to go see the community of what the veterans are doing in training, what trainers they're using, how their dogs are making them better. There's all kind of extra content back there. We're doing podcasts. We're doing all this stuff to dive into these stories for veterans. And oh, by the way, we'll win the Sierra Delta camouflage hat.
I
for
like
you.
that
It
hat.
looks pretty
We got
good. Check
Billy
it on air
Dawson.
right now.
Billy Dawson is a Nashville singer-songwriter. For the past year and a half, he's been working with myself and a handful of other veterans, and we created Warrior Life album. It's an album of 11 songs from the veteran perspective. It's country, rock, there's even a heavy metal song in there. That is releasing here coming up next month, and the only way you can get it is buy it from Sierra Delta's website. All the proceeds are going right to Sierra Delta. So come to SierraDelta.com, make your minimum pledge, join the team, and then let's go do it because the other new program we're releasing is Life Force, and that's the service component. We partnered with Habitat for Humanity. We partnered with Street Dog Coalition, and we partnered with the National Cemeteries Association because guess what? We have all these great cemeteries where we honor the ones that did not come back and the ones that died after service. People are not showing up anymore, these civic groups, to wash these headstones. There's no budget for it. These headstones are in disarray. So we're going to do old-fashioned working parties. And we're asking our veteran alumni to lead the way. Civilians, you can join us. We're getting 4-hour blocks from these cemeteries all across the country. Let's get out there with some soap and water.
Should be taken care of.
And let's take care of it. Again, that's what makes us American is that we want self-determination, right? Why are we waiting? It doesn't matter who we elect in. We can't legislate our way out of the problems we're facing.
Amen.
And that's why guys like you matter so much and why our listeners need to take a role. So the first thing you need to remember is SierraDelta.com. That's your portal for everything that you need to know. But remember everything you do, and it's above and beyond just getting a dog for a vet. There's so much more that goes behind that. And the training that goes along with it and things that you can do to help is a myriad. But the first place to go is SierraDelta.com. Get on the socials, follow at Sierra Delta Dogs, and also Sierra Delta Service Dogs. You can follow all that to keep your information up. This is stuff that's helping us in San Antonio, guys. This is coming directly to us. And BJ's been in San Antonio. We'll be back again because we're going to play golf.
That's right.
We're going to talk about that in a bit. We're excited about having you, man. First of all, good to see you.
Good to see
and what
you.
you're doing
Thank you,
is
man.
doing good for you and everybody else, and you can tell by the way you look. And so
Yes,
it's
sir.
always a pleasure.
Thank you, man.
BJ, thanks for stopping by. I'm glad you got yourself in with your.
No doubt. Thanks for
It's
waiting.
funny how
meet
they
you,
lock
man.
out the good folks. He had to go back and get his credential, but he's with us now. I'll say it one more time. Go to SierraDelta.com. You can help, and you can help right now. Go to the site.